everyone! Hey. Welcome to the Rooster Teeth Podcast.
I wasn't doing the wave thing. What was the wave thing?
I said Jav's hands. They give you energy.
I was making my noise when you said that.
It wasn't a wave.
The Mexican wave, as you call it.
The Mexican wave.
Here we are, Rooster Teeth Podcast with Gus,
Gavin,
Barbara,
and Burnie and
Gus,
and Gavin,
and Gus, but especially lots of Gus. So here we are for our podcast, our weekly ritual. And this was old angry Gus.
It probably was.
What's now, Gus?
Gus isn't as angry as he used to be. Gus was.
You're pretty laid back and chill. You're getting more normal.
Yeah.
You're just like
normal, except that I don't go outside and I don't interact with people.
And you let people run
Did
the battery.
Did you see my new decoration for my office?
No.
I saw Barbara tweeted it.
I gave myself an autograph photo of me.
God damn, dude, really?
He came down looking for push pins.
I wrote to my biggest fan.
There it is.
What is that picture from?
That was a great zoom.
John Reisinger saw that photo on my desk. I guess someone had sent it to me. And John was like, you should put this on the wall behind you. I was like, absolutely. And I got a silver Sharpie and I autographed it and put it on the wall.
Did you see what the lads did to John Reisinger's desk when he moved his desk upstairs?
Did y'all film that?
No, I took a picture though. It was full of post-it notes.
RT Live.
He also totally hasn't found all of them yet. I've checked.
Nice.
How does a hymen work?
Oh, you are a fucking cocksucker.
Got done in with a bunch of tweets. It's like, oh, you don't know what how the hymen works. How does the hymen work?
How do you think it works?
Why didn't you look it up?
I don't know. Google hymen. I don't want to see that.
You've Googled way worse things.
Have I?
Can we give a little backstory to those people who missed the episode last week? Last week we told a story. Gavin was about to make a point, and I tried to steer you away from it because I could tell the point you were making.
I wanted to be close to that point.
And I pointed out that there was a really creepy article that somebody wrote years and years ago. It's actually a local film blogger. He was writing about a TV show, Heroes, how the young cheerleader, female character, teenage character, she had this ability to heal. That was her superpower. And he said it was like I don't know what he said, geek fantasy, that her hymen would grow back every time after sex. Yeah, okay. So that was the conversation we had. We pointed out this creepy thing this guy wrote on the net 10 years ago.
The way I thought it worked is
and then we got fucking hammered.
The hymen is some sort of skin, tissuey membrane thing that the first time you have sex is broken.
That is the myth, yes.
And then that's it. But apparently it doesn't break. Or everyone's been tweeting me that it moves.
So you do know how it works.
I've just been reading a load of dumb tweets.
Should you point out too that this is a uniquely female part of the anatomy?
Yeah,
you don't have one as far
as
I know.
Did I not mention that?
No, I don't
think
you
it's
did.
upper vag.
Does he have to mention that?
Listen, let's be clear.
Just so you know, I don't
explain for clarity.
But I didn't. I just don't know how it works now. I thought I knew, but apparently it moves. I thought it broke. Does it break or does it move? Buddy Burns?
Look,
I didn't even want this conversation.
Nobody wants this conversation but you. Nobody wants it but you.
It was broken because it's a.
Well, you're ignorant then, Barbara.
I don't know. I don't
know.
Examine.
I have no idea.
Right.
I'm not a doctor.
I am no smarter than I was last week then.
You got a lot of stuff tweeted at you though.
Yeah.
So fucking, I'm sitting over here so mad at Gavin right now.
Why?
Because I specifically got you out of that conversation last week. I saw where you were headed with your dumb fucking comment.
And we're all disappointed in you.
I steered you away from it. And we still stepped in it as a result of you starting the conversation.
Talk about it.
Starting the conversation. First thing we do get in the podcast this week, he fucking brings it up.
We're all very disappointed in you, Gavin.
You're just a jackass.
I wasn't here last week, so I appreciate him bringing it up.
I don't know how hymen works, but I can tell you exactly how an asshole works. It wears a medium-sized shirt and drinks Red Bull.
No, that's a small. Come on.
That's how a women's medium. It wears a women's medium shirt and drinks Red Bull. That's how assholes work.
Delicious.
You should have seen how excited he was that he had a cold Red Bull this week. He was like, "Oh my god, there's a cold one." Do you normally just drink them room temperature?
No, I usually go to the other building and get a Red Bull.
Give me the.
They're usually hidden in a secret spot.
Pass that to him.
I wasn't even gonna drink tonight, Gavin. You're making me drink.
Yeah. You're welcome.
So what, you were excited that there was a cold one here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that we had Red Bull in there.
Why don't you just get a
apparently you never opened the fridge because you didn't know how to fucking close it either.
I didn't know there's a procedure in closing our fridge.
The fridge here in the annex has been broken for forever. I think since the day we got that fucking thing. And the door doesn't close right. So I think Brandon rigged up a strap of Velcro on it. So
didn't you make an RT Life where they drop kick the thing to try to close it?
Brandon does.
Tara apparently rigged it up. Yeah, they did that RT Life.
I like Gus's reaction. You could hear it in his ear. He was getting, I did that.
So Kara rigged up some Velcro. So anytime you close the door, you have to Velcro it shut. And you just went and grabbed your goddamn Red Bull and then just close the door.
I've literally never got anything out of that fridge before.
So how do you know there haven't been cold Red Bulls in the
I
past?
don't know. There might have been. I was excited.
There's a really disproportionate, like, happy reaction there.
Yeah. What is it with this company and stuff breaking day one and then just keeping it around?
What do you mean?
Like,
We
what
did that
else?
with a safe for a while. There was a safe that got stuck shut.
We
And
paid
then-
$350 for the safe. That's why. That was years ago.
I forgot
It was
about
5
that.
years ago.
That was at the old office.
Yeah, Brandon was trying to get it open for like 6 months or something, and then he was trying to return it or something. And
Oh, I know why. I know why. Because the safe broke day one, but it's like Brandon. It's like turn around and the safe's broken. And I say, did you put anything in the safe before the door broke? And Brandon goes, I don't know. It's like, it was literally in the last 2 hours. Did you put anything in that safe before the door on it broke? And he just couldn't answer it. So we had to figure out a way to A, to get in the safe to see if there was anything inside of it. And then B, the other problem was that how the fuck do you throw away a safe? It's not as easy as
If I remember, the handle broke, right? Like, it had one of those handles you turn, and it's like, you turned it, and it just, like, snapped off.
It was like a 90-pound little bitty safe made out of solid metal, except the handle was plastic.
Yeah.
And the gears that moved it were plastic,
So-
and it just stripped out.
what's difficult about throwing away a safe?
What do you do?
Where do you
just
put it?
toss it in the dumpster?
Chuck it in a dumpster.
That's,
Can you not?
You're so wrong.
You
What
can't?
did we end up doing with it?
We chucked it in the dumpster. But
That's what I
after
thought.
a lot of due
Wait,
diligence,
why is that wrong?
We chunked it in the dumpster. It just seems wasteful to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's trash.
it's
Something
wasteful.
No,
like
I'm with
that
Gavin.
much metal
Broken.
in trash.
Yeah, it's broken. It's trash. You put it in the dumpster.
If a homeless guy can fix it, it's his.
I don't know. I feel like there's a better place to throw away like old furniture or like objects like that.
What, like your front yard?
I don't know.
Your front yard. I can't really, I mean, fault anybody for doing something stupid when they're drunk. I broke my leg drunk one time. I jumped in a lake at night when I was drunk, and I
You
landed
landed
on
on
a 8-foot diameter metal drainage pipe that was this far below the water. They said they watched me jump in. It looked like it bounced off the water.
Well, you jumped into a lake. I mean, that's not as stupid as diving
It was a
into
man-made
fountain.
lake in the middle of a neighborhood.
Okay, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
We were at a party. We all
Did it
ran
go
down the hill. We all jumped in.
bong?
We all jumped in. This was in high school. We all jumped in. And then we got out. And then a bunch of people saw us jumping in. Wanted to jump in. They were like, geez, they all jumped in. All in the same spot.
No.
We missed this big drainage pipe. And I went to go jump in. And I thought, oh, I'm going to land on this people. I'll jump here a little bit to the left. And I landed on the drainage pipe. And broke. It's the only time I've ever broken a bone. 1 week before graduation. I had a girlfriend. She was at a church lock-in that night. And I didn't tell her I was going to a party. And how the fuck do you hide that? We went
So,
to the party at some girl's house.
How long did that last
I
after
broke
that?
my leg buying you flowers.
I was running to catch the flower
Shoving
guy.
My
roses
girlfriend said,
in
I
your
heard you
womb.
broke your leg falling into a hot tub. And I was like, no, that's exaggerated. I said, we all got out of the hot tub to run down the hill, into the fucking lake. She broke up with me almost immediately.
So did you have to have crutches during your graduation?
I did.
Like
I
to
did.
go up accept your diploma?
I actually had a walking cast, and a bunch of my friends who, like, it was such a short amount of time at such a crazy point in your life, a bunch of my friends didn't know I had broken my leg yet. It just... It's like 5 days before graduation. Everybody's kind of doing stuff, and some guy was like, "I saw you up there. Like it looked like you were like strutting, like that." So yeah, but I had broken my fucking leg.
Shit, that's the worst time.
I
Have you
broke
ever,
my ankle.
you ever broken any bones, Barbara?
No, I think I've only sprained all my fingers from playing basketball. Having the ball jam on it, not a good feeling.
Ugh.
What about you, Gavers?
Broke my schnoz when I was a kid.
We need to break it the other way, don't we?
Yeah.
Fix
What
it
happened?
up.
How'd it get broken?
I was running out the back door and I tripped and fell on my face when I was about 3.
Wow.
And I don't think anyone knew that it was broken. I didn't even go to hospital. It just grew very bent. And they were like, oh, it's probably when you smashed your face.
That would do it. Yeah, I don't think I've ever broken anything. When I was a baby, I got dropped on my head and I got a
That
hairline
explains a lot.
fracture
Explains
in
a
my
lot.
skull. They said that the fracture's like from here, like all the way back here.
Got a fractured skull.
My
Did
aunt dropped me on a door jam,
Oh.
and I fell like head first right onto the door jam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your dad's sister, your mom's sister.
My mom's sister.
Holy cow.
When you were a baby, did you have a giant head, like
Yes.
a bobblehead?
Yeah, I think I've said it before, but my
was trying
head.
to shave it
Someone
down.
dropped their phone. My head was so big that I had trouble learning how to walk as a baby because I was so imbalanced and I was so top heavy that my mom had to buy this giant balloon
Oh yeah.
that I like used as a giant crutch to help me learn how to walk.
I bet you
with
could
my
run
head.
fast though. Like the forward weight of your head will make you just run.
It's like how fast you have to run to keep up with a giant head.
When I was in college, these guys drove through our front of our house. They drove through and they stopped in the front yard. They drove through our lawn. They stopped in the front yard, and there was a bunch of dudes in the back, and they had a full-size deep freeze, like a standalone freezer, and it was the back of a pickup truck. And two dudes go, "Hey, what's up?" And we're like, "What the fuck in our lawn?" And they go, "Here you go." And they kicked the freezer out, and it landed in the front lawn. And then they just drove off. And we're like, what the fuck,
And it's
you
been passed
dickheads?
down from generation to
Did
generation.
it work?
No, it was fucking busted. I just wanted to get rid of it. So
It's like, it's your problem now.
that's the way we did it. And one of our guys was walking to the bus the next day and saw the guy's truck. So we drilled a hole all the way through the freezer, ran a big ass chain through the whole dumpster, and then chained it to the guy's grill. And somebody with a Sharpie on it wrote, "Hey, you dropped this."
Oh my god.
And we actually have video of the guy out there the next day, like looking at this thing, like, what
You
the
filmed
fuck?
him?
Yeah, what are we gonna do?
Where is that video?
Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody's got it. I don't have it.
I'd like that instead of calling the police and reporting him for dumping,
No.
you drilled a hole. That must have taken ages for a start. Drilling a hole.
Yeah, how
through
long
it.
was his car parked there?
Dude, let me tell you something. When I was in college, we get in fights, like 8 guys versus 8 guys. We get in fights in the middle of the streets, West Campus, like right by the university. Cops would show up, 8 guys brawling it out in the streets. They would go, all right, come on, go home. Everybody. Never saw anybody get arrested. It made no sense to me.
It's a lawless place out over there.
It was completely and totally lawless. Absolutely.
Jeez.
I'm trying to think. There was another time, guys across the street, they were celebrating the Texas OU football game, so they built a miniature version of the UT Tower in their front lawn. And while there was like 60 of them out there building this thing, some other guys just drove through in a big ass Scout. You know, it's like a big 4-wheel drive, and they drove right across the guy's lawn. They didn't hit the tower, and everyone's watching them go. They all start chasing it, and I watched the guy get halfway. It's a big ass lawn. Got halfway across the lawn. Then all of a sudden his truck goes.
Oh my god!
His truck stalled in their lawn. They beat the shit out of that guy.
What made it stall?
I have no. A Scout is a
Karma.
shitty car. It's like. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people who have Scouts. You know, people fix them up and refurb them. They're awesome. You've seen them. They're like the It's almost like a jacked up, almost like a pickup truck with no roof. Sometimes people take the roof off a lot. But most of the people in college who had them, they were just like super old and
They're
shitty.
barely running.
Yeah, the guy's
Oh.
car stopped.
That's fucking awesome.
I remember some dude hitting the car with a fucking ball peen hammer, just going
Wow.
down every panel. Bing, 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 bing.
Like I guess he was working on the tower.
Yeah,
He just happened
and
to have.
hit for whatever reason, a ball peen
These
hammer.
were a bunch of hooligans back then.
Yeah, it was bad days. It was
Do you
bad
think shit like
days.
that? Shit like that still has to happen, right?
It probably does. It probably does. Dude, Gangnam Style's about to break 2 billion.
What's it at?
views.
Is it still like at 1.8 billion? It's been at like 1.8 billion for a long time.
Still a fucking big number.
I should have done this for RT Life, but I did this joke the other day where I was curious what Gangnam Style's views were, and they were like at 1.9 billion at that point, or maybe 1.8. And I had that up on my screen, and Carrie came over to ask me a question. And I go, hey, come here. I go, have you seen this? And Carrie comes over, he's like, what? And he's like looking at my screen, and I play Gangnam Style, and he's like, he watches it for like 30 seconds. He's like, this Gangnam Style. I go, it's fucking funny. It's good. And he goes, it's Gangnam. It was like, and so I did that to like 4 other people that day. I was like, hey, you gotta check this out. Check out this video. Look at this. This is fucking hilarious.
It's so funny.
Yeah. And
Why didn't you film that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
That would
should
be
have.
perfect.
It's 1.88 billion.
Yeah. I think it was like 1.85 when I saw
How
it
fast
the
did
other day.
it get 1 billion?
Like
months?
7 or 8 months, I think.
Shit.
Yeah. It was a big deal.
You know, like sometimes you'll drop something sweet and then ants will just be all over it and they'll just eat the crap out of it. I was once at school and
I'm learning it takes Gavin 20 minutes to pick something up, but go ahead.
Well.
Like you drop it and it swarms.
Do you drop it into an anthill?
they're just all over it. It's like, wow, there's a lot of ants. I once watched a woman fill a vending machine and slam the door, but I think the lock was slightly out, so the door just went boom and like vibrated back open. And I watched like 4 people hear this. They turned around and were just like, and then literally probably 30 people were just like, and within a minute, everything was gone out of the vending machine. It was one of those amazing things I've ever seen.
It's
in
like
my life.
whenever we have food at the office on the kitchen table.
It was just a swarm, and it was gone. It was like a time lapse of bugs eating a mouse.
You know, I gotta say, people, when given a sense of anonymity, will do the shittiest stuff. I mean, it's just like you wouldn't stand at the vending machine, and when somebody gets a bag of potato chips, you wouldn't grab it out of their hand and go, and then eat their chips.
You also wouldn't rob the woman who was filling it.
You wouldn't rob the one.
take
You're like if
stuff out
she's
of her
like if
boxes.
she's filling the machine, you wouldn't walk up and start grabbing shit out in front of her. You wouldn't do it. But if she leaves, and oops, I made a mistake and I didn't lock it right. Fuck that bitch. Let's empty this thing out. Let's go.
It was
bystander
like,
effect.
It was like 2 cartoon characters fighting, and
How are they bystanders if they're stealing stuff?
It's similar to the bystander effect.
They
where
are the
there-
standers.
Where there's more people in a situation, there's less likely a person to help.
What?
Oh man.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Have
saying,
you not
but
heard
it's
of the bystander effect?
no. That's like if somebody's like hurt and there's that other people assume someone else is going to help that person.
And
I
the
don't
more
have
people
to.
there are, the less likely.
That's a little different than like other people joining in and beating the shit out of
Well,
the
here,
person.
it's like
Did you see
there's
that
just
awful
nine
video
people.
from China about the bystander effect?
I have seen that.
What's the video?
I have seen that. It's awful.
We're not going to put this in the link dump, but this crazy man attacks a woman and stabs her 26 times while there's just people like just standing around filming.
And that's on video.
It's like in a mall somewhere.
And then like eventually like one dude, some dude comes up and scares him away, and it seems like he has an endless supply of water bottles in his jacket. So he pulls a water bottle out, throws it at the dude. The dude like stands back, then he reaches in, pulls out another one and throws it. Then he reaches in, pulls out another one and throws it. It's like,
And then after he does that, everyone else starts to like bully the guy away.
yeah.
But
She
it's
li-
only
she
after the
lived.
first guy.
But it's like it's super fucked up.
Yeah.
God.
Another example, like a more mundane version of that, where people don't think anything's wrong. Obviously, people are going to think there's something wrong with that situation. You should try to help that person. But it's tough if you're going to get fucking stabbed. It's tough. I mean, I don't know how many people have actually been in a situation like that, but it's like when you have a chance to react quickly, sitting in your computer, watching it on screen and say, I would do this. Things happen really fast in a moment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Bill Burr does a great thing about like crazy people, how we should all have a basically a chloroform soaked rag in her pockets at all points in time. And if you're the closest person to the crazy dude, it's your job to take him out. And it's not like just like the guy on the bus is like, rah, the government, and he starts yelling. Then you're like, oh, I got him, and you just like take him out. Because like you said, crazy people just get in a situation, they just dominate. Like when somebody goes to the post office and they just start screaming in the middle of the post office and yelling at everybody else. There was this thing I saw, I think it was from Korea, where a woman was going out of a parking garage and her complimentary ticket, like her what do they call it, validated ticket, didn't work, and it was trying to charge her. So she sat there for an hour and blocked the exit to the parking garage. And like they had to physically drag her away. The cops had to drag her away.
Wow.
She was throwing a fucking tantrum.
Because she had to pay?
Whatever. I don't even think they got that. I don't think she was that rational to explain like why she was doing it.
The
Unless
deciding
she would kill
factor.
that person.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
You wouldn't drag him out of the car though.
No. I'd kill him with my eyes, with
You
my
ran
mind.
with your Prius.
I think if someone was wailing on a woman and stabbing her 22 times, I think whether I would help would determine whether I had something heavy in my hands. Like I wouldn't want to.
Water bottles.
I give you going after somebody with a knife, just barehanded.
If I was
like,
by a bin or something that I could just cave his skull in, I would do that. But I wouldn't go out with him with just my bare hands.
Yeah.
I get stabbed and I get rabies or something.
I had self-defense lessons as a kid.
what did you really?
Yeah, in our high school, we had 1 week of self-defense lessons for the girls' gym class.
Really?
Yeah, well, it was like a
probably a
class
week more than
every
you.
day.
Can I ask you,
like
can I
an
ask you a question?
hour-long
I'm not trying to
class
be
for
I'm
5
not trying to
days.
be offensive in any way. I have to
Yeah.
ask clarification. Did you go to a Jewish high school?
No,
Okay.
I went to a public high school.
That seems like a very Jewish thing, like teach all the kids self-defense. I'm serious. It does. It seems like
That's why the Israeli army is so good.
that's. I was going to ask you if it was like Israeli
They look
army
like cops.
tactics and stuff like
We'll learn
that.
Krav Maga
Yeah, Krav Maga,
Gavin's
Take
beard
one
just jizzed all over his hands.
as it always does.
without fail. Bye, I love you.
Bye.
I need to wash my penis.